And welcome to another live stream watch-along reaction. Tonight we're watching and reacting to Winnipeg Jets at St. Louis Blues, NHL Stanley Cup Playoffs 2025, Round 1, Game 6. The Jets, if they win tonight and the Blues blink at home, the Jets will advance to Round 2 to play the winner of the Colorado-Dallas Game 7 on Saturday. If the Blues win at home and we still have the home team not blink in any of these games in this series, the Blues go to a Game 7 in Winnipeg on Sunday night. And it seems to me we'll be live for that because the Blues or the Leafs will start on Monday. Now the question is that Monday start with the Blues in mind? Or are they just going to start Monday anyway? We'll find out. I'm sure this game has something to do with it. So, when it comes to Sunday, I will say this much. We will be live tomorrow for TFC versus the Revs, of course, at 3 o'clock Central, or 3:30 Central, 4:30 Eastern. We'll be live for TFC versus the Revs. There's no question about that. Sunday, I looked at the MLS schedule for Sunday, and it looks horrible. NYCFC versus Cincy and Galaxy versus Sporting Kansas City, both those games look horrible. So if the Blues don't play Sunday and the Leafs somehow don't play Sunday, if the Blues get eliminated tonight, I will be off Sunday. I will not replace a hockey game with football with the way that looked. With the way that schedule looked. I'm not doing LA Galaxy, Kansas City. Hell no. Ain't really want to wake up either for earlier either for NYCFC Cincy. So if there's not a hockey game Sunday, I'll be off Sunday. But if the Blues play a Game 7, we'll be here for that. We'll be here for that on Sunday. Tomorrow, TFC plays. We'll be live for that. That's it for Saturday. Tonight, we're here for the Blues and Jets. Will the home team still win is the question. We're going to find out. Yep, I saw that they've all been released. And it's honestly sad to see a couple of those people get released. Dakota Kai, Gigi Dolan, Cora Jade. Those are some sad releases to see. Braun has had his moments. It's sad to see him go. But the rest of those, I wish them the best. But I read your comment. Come on now. But this game, the puck will drop around 7:15 Central of this game. And we'll be on our way. Will the Blues win? True, but yeah, Cora Jade's been injured a lot. That is true. Good point. Hit the like button. Let's get this one going. Jets at Blues, Game 6. The Blues won both games at Scott Trade. Games 3 and 4 to make sure this went back to Winnipeg and came back to St. Louis. Now, of course, they lost Game 5 at Bell MTS Place. That's why I know it as. And just like the Scott Trade Center. Either way, they lost in Winnipeg. The Blues had their moments, but they ran out of gas once again on the road, just like they did the first 2 games. They played a complete game, both games in St. Louis. Let's see what happens. Yeah, I should probably go to TNA, my opinion. She's already been on there, so. Wouldn't surprise me if they just said, hey, of course, once her non-compete runs out, so. Italy's Super Cup's going to be held in Saudi Arabia next year. Jesus Christ. "10 minutes to puck drop. Ehlers is returned for the Jets. He will be in the lineup tonight. Scheifele is out after the last game where he got hurt. Blues looking to force a game 7, yes. Will the home team not blink again? No home team has lost yet this series. That could change tonight. That could change tonight. Or will a home team not lose? Wouldn't it be funny if game 7, that's when the home team lost? That would be funny. Like, no home team lost until game 7. Wouldn't that be funny? You finally blink when it all seems to be going your way. Still got reporter CJ talking about Monday night being the start of the Toronto game, or the Toronto series. I wonder. But we'll see how it goes. Blues, the puck will be dropped in minutes at Scott Trade Center. And Hellebuck's doing it again. He should get his pads ready to make saves. Forget getting your eyes ready. You should get your pads ready to make saves. Florida will be landing in Toronto on Saturday at 3 p.m. Central, or is it 3 Central, 4 Eastern? So, from what I've heard. So, just in case it is Sunday, they're ready for that to be the case, or they will be ready for that to be the case. He deserves it. Honestly, he should win it because Arneal, the Jets coach, speaking of the Jets, and Carberry. I mean, Carberry had Ovechkin. Like, yeah, they almost won the President's Trophy, but really? Like, yeah, Ovechkin got his record, and Ovechkin had a season that nobody expected him to have. I don't understand why Carberry's there, frankly. I think Craig Berube did a better coaching job this year. Hell, I think Jim Montgomery did a better coaching job this year than Spencer Carberry. There's more coaches who've actually done a good coaching job. Arneal, probably there because his team won the President's Trophy. I don't like that. Honestly, Marty St. Louis should win the Jack Adams Award. Like, who else? Like, the 3 finalists, it leads to him being the favorite because, okay. Which WWE release hurts the most? I would say probably Cora Jade. probably. Was a big fan of her. Thought she had a lot of talent, a lot of potential, and the injuries have hurt her, but I thought she had a lot of potential that sadly never got really realized. I didn't think she was in danger either of being released out of anybody who did. I mean, Dakota Kai, I'm sad about it, but I kind of see it. Gigi Dolan, same thing. I kind of can see why she got released. Braun, I see that. Everybody else, I can kind of see why they got released. Cora Jade just boggles my mind why she got released. It's got to be injuries. The fact she's had like 3 injuries, it has to be. But we'll see. But we're about ready to go in St. Louis. Jets wearing white, Blues wearing blue. Of course, that's how it goes. Why would I care about that? I'm not CM Punk. I mean, that sucks for her, I guess, as well. But I'm not CM Punk. Why would... Doesn't matter to me. Exactly. Martin St. Louis actually had a really good season as a coach. Like, Carberry got carried by Ovechkin, and Arneal won the President's Trophy. Probably carried by Hellebuck. Right? Mostly carried by Hellebuck. And that really good start they had. Like, I'd say that's more the talent than coaching for the Jets. Yeah, they had the start they had. Sure. The 20 wins in the first 2 months of the season start. Yeah, sure. Okay. Yeah, that's more talent than coaching. And they rode that to the President's Trophy. Again, more talent than coaching. As you could tell in this series. I legitimately think you see, and the funny thing about the Jets is you see from them their President's Trophy talent carries themselves at home. I also think their arena is they have probably one of the best home ice advantages in all the league. That's true. I agree. I mean, the whiteout, especially once you get to the playoffs, the Jets have one of the best home ice advantages in the league, bar none. I will put my hands up and say that. That also helps. But when they're in St. Louis, they don't look like President's Trophy winners. They look like a team who got lucky about their start and then rode that to where they are. They look like the Post. Yeah, solid, of course. I mean, it's not like you could win the President's Trophy with 20 wins, but starting the season with 20-some wins is pretty damn good. It means you have more room for error. They start off red hot. They cooled down. I'd say they're a team that are better at home. They have a really good goalie, one of the best goalies in the league. A Vezina candidate, should probably win it, even though his playoff run has been absolutely horrible. But, well, he still allowed a lot of goals at home as well. It's just the fact that the Blues run out of gas in Winnipeg. Hellebuck, he's not been solid in the playoffs. He's not. But yeah, he's a Vezina goalie in the regular season. Playoffs, not so much. Also a Vezina goalie during the Four Nations. Because for the USA, he was a Vezina level goalie there as well. What happened here? I'll tell you this. The games the Jets have lost have been lost by Hellebuck in this series. That didn't happen at the Four Nations. When Canada won, they won because they won. They won because they won. Hellebuck didn't throw that game away. Binnington was the better goalie, but Binnington was standing on his head. Hellebuck allowed one more than Binnington. So do that what you will. That is kind of funny, I won't lie. Came to CONCACAF just to blow it. Well, he did win the Leagues Cup, though. And the Supporters' Shield. How about he's not going to win a meaningful, established trophy? How about that? He won a trophy they made up, and just so happened that they were doing their first big edition of it when he came over and won that trophy out of nowhere. And the Supporters' Shield never counts unless you win the MLS Cup. But yeah, Messi, the way Miami's going, he'll never win an MLS trophy or CONCACAF trophy that's been established and meaningful for years. I agree with that. He couldn't even win the Open Cup. Houston won the damn Open Cup, and we're off. 5 seconds eliminated over the boards. There'll be another face-off. 0-0. Blues looking to win again at Scott Trade Center to tie the series and send it back to Winnipeg for Game 6. Neutral zone face-off. Jets win the draw. They'll play it forward. Goes behind the net. Ehlers is back with Lowry and Perfetti. No Scheifele to start this game. Tanev on the fourth line. All right, that's something. Hellebuck starting in goal. They're going to give him a chance. Claude Julien is an assistant under Jim Montgomery. Yeah, that's a pretty good coaching pick. I mean, I got to say, when it comes down to it, having Claude Julien as one of your assistant coaches, that's a really good place to be if you're Jim Montgomery, because Claude Julien is one of the better coaches. He's had stints as a head coach. He's done well in those stints. Overall, having him as an assistant when you're a guy like Jim Montgomery who's already a good head coach, that can't hurt. It's a very good place to be. And if he somehow gets suspended, well, then you have Claude Julien coming in as the interim for a couple of games. Offside, or icing, I should say. Icing. That'll be a defensive zone face-off for the Blues. The Jets will have the offensive zone face-off. The Jets have started a bit hot. They want to make a statement here, which I don't blame them. They win, the series is over. 18:39 to go in the first period. Binnington, .900 save percentage this season. It's Game 6. Why are we talking about that? Talk about his playoff save percentage. Or did that add the playoffs? Either way, it's like, okay. Blues have it. Drops it in at the point. Throws it around. The home team has won the game every game of this series. Shen at the wall. Neighbors holding back. Hellebuck drops it at the blue line. Falk loses it. And Sandberg. No. Playing forward, Jets. 17:34 to go. Broberg. The one from the Oilers. There we go. Well, one of the two from the Oilers. Holloway. I think he's still working through something. Playing forward. Blues have it. Gain the zone. In through, behind the net. Doesn't get the Michigan, and too much traffic. The Jets can get it out of the zone. They do. 16:58. Binnington. Throws it on. Blues have it. They could gain the zone. They do. They continue. They're in. Onside. Going to fight for the puck. And the Blues, it goes the other way. Falk. Oh, open ice hit. Damn. No. Saw the two. Didn't see the other two. Letty throws it. There we go. Down the wall. Blues have it at center. They gain the zone. Throws it on. Blocked away. That's going to be a face-off. $16:09 to go. 0-0. One shot to 0. Well, you know, that's not so bad. Jim Montgomery, 18 and 20 in the playoffs, coaching it. Face-off, offensive zone for the Blues. 16:09. Puck dropped and the Jets win the draw. Sandberg throws it behind. Jets find their way into the zone. Sandberg with a shot at Bennington. Blocked off the body at the blue line. Sandberg corrals it. Throws it on. Blocked it behind the net. Blues can pick it. They do. And they lose the handle there. Jets and Blues played 2019. Blues won the series 4-2, of course, when the Blues won the Stanley Cup that year, the first round of that playoff run. Throws it back. And that's going to be offside, 15-23. Still 0-0. Suter didn't get into the zone before touched the puck. Jets on the road, 26-15-0. 0-2 in the playoffs. Yeah, we guess their home record's better. Record wins on the road for the Jets. Okay. Plays through behind the net. Blues have it. Stolen, but the Blues find a way to get back the possession. Starting puck battles. Dump to center. Scheifele's out tonight. Winnipeg is 1-6 when Scheifele's not in the lineup during a playoff game. Let's see if tonight's the night that they finally get a win or get another win with him out of the lineup. Of course, the Leafs only won one closeout game of a series in the Matthews era until last night. So records are made to be broken even if they look horrible. Blues get back possession. Falk throws it forward. Jets on the forecheck. Jets get the puck back, but right at center, the Blues pick it back up, go back into their defensive zone to reset. Falk has the puck, throws it behind the net. Shot, Broberg! Goal! 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 Philip Broberg! 1-0 Blues with a slap shot. Philip Broberg. Man, that looked like a softie. Dude. 13:55 left in the first period and the Blues have the lead. Out of nowhere, just throws it from behind onto Broberg's stick. He takes the shot and Hellebuck just, okay. All right. Hellebuck left half the net open. And that's the side that, he got pushed off his, Sandberg ran into him. Buchnevich. Because you go to the net. Perfect. Buchnevich went to the net, and he made sure Sandberg ran into his goalie, and that's why the shot went through. But Philip Broberg, as of now, has a goal for the St. Louis Blues to give them the lead. They may look at this as goalie interference. No, Sandberg tried to push him out of the crease. I don't know. No, I don't think that's goalie interference. If anything, Sandberg made sure he got pushed. No. So you can't screen a goalie? No. Like, that's not, no. There's no reason to challenge this. Because Sandberg pushed Buchnevich, which in turn pushed Hellebuck. That's not goalie interference. Buchnevich was screening him, not even touching him. Sandberg pushes him while pushing Hellebuck's helmet. Puck goes in. That's no. So you're telling me if this is against, you can't screen the goalie. Nope, it is a goal. It stands. Okay, good. I was like, are you kidding me? Robert Thomas and Jimmy with the assists. If anything, it's more Sandberg who caused the interference than Buchnevich, if anything. So, no. I'm glad they didn't call it back. One, because I'm rooting for the Blues. Second of all, that's bullshit. If it was against the Blues, that's bullshit. If anything, Sandberg committed goalie interference against his own goalie. If anything. If anything. 6:05 through the period. Making sure that's a 6. 0-1. 1-0 Blues. The Broberg goal stands. Yeah. But again, they didn't challenge it, which is good. I don't think I would have liked it being called against if that was the case. But Blues have a 1-0 lead. Philip Broberg. Philip Broberg with a goal. The Oilers, the player from the Oilers, one of the two RFA offer sheets from the Oilers, who was at the Stanley Cup final last year, gives the Blues the lead. You want to complain about it? I wouldn't, but do that what you will. But he was pushing him, so I think that's why the Jets didn't challenge. Exactly. By the way, if you want to be clear, he kind of, when Sandberg pushed Buchnevich, he kind of, you could call that a cross check. It's not like he went in with the hands. I mean, he went in with a stick. Okay. Worst comes to worst, it goes against you and he gets called for cross-checking. I wouldn't do it, but 13-24. If I were you, Hellebuck makes the save. That'll be offensive zone face-off. Like, that definitely looked weird, though, before that happened. Oh, Lord. And there's a stoppage of play. The referees are talking. Let's see. Oh, God. It's going to turn into one of those. Delay a game. Blues going to the power play. Did he flip it over the glass? He did. Oh, no. He accidentally flipped the puck over the glass. DeMello. Oh, Lord. You can't do that. Oh, because the Blues saw it go over the glass. That's why they were okay. DeMello called for the penalty of flipping the puck over the glass. How dumb do you have to be? I can't say that because Marner did it before too. Buchnevich, Thomas, Jimmy, Bolduc, Fowler. The power play unit. I can't say that because Marner did the same thing, 5 years ago or something? I've lost track at this point. It was 5 years ago, yeah? Had to be. Marner throwing the puck over the glass was 5 years ago, yeah? I've lost track. Wait. That was... It may have been longer. I can't troll. Jimmy has the puck. 1:10 to go in the power play. Game 6, throwing the puck over the glass. At least it's not Game 7. Shot. Saved by Hellebuck. That'll be an offensive zone face-off with 57 seconds left to go on the power play. Neighbors, Buchnevich. Good shot. Jimmy throws it on. That's what you got to do. That's what you got to do. He's good. Seriously. Just got called up from college, Jimmy, and he's been playing pretty well. Hey, I didn't expect that, really. He's a freaking natural, dude. Blues have it. He's a natural. Blues will take a shot. I don't really like this camera angle. Blues have the puck at the point. They lose the possession. Kyrou loses possession. Blues still have it. It didn't leave the zone. 21 seconds. Through the legs. Falk at the slot. Shot. Oh! It doesn't go. 12 seconds. Thank you for the $1.99. I'll do that. Where were we? TNA. Cora Jade for sure go to TNA. Dakota Kai. She's good on Twitch. She could probably continue doing that. But if she wants to continue wrestling, Marigold, the new promotion that Rossi Ogawa started, I don't think TNA is really enough for her, but I don't think she'd go to AEW either. I think it's more likely she wrestle in Japan somehow if she did wrestle again with possible indie bookings. But yeah. But she definitely would do more Twitch for sure. She's really good at so. Twitch streaming. So there you go. Blues have it. Why are you trying to make me like freaking Roberto Baggio? Ah, Lord. 10:23 to go with the first period. The Blues have a 1-0 lead. They throw it forward. Shot at the point. It goes. It's covered by Hellebuck. Oh, the Blues almost steal one there. No. As far as I know, no. I was just asking why you made me out to be freaking Roberto Baggio. Thomas was there. The Blues are trying to 12-game winning streak after 4 nations. They got hot as hell. But then again, isn't the Blues known for that? Getting hot as hell like halfway through a season and then making the playoffs anyway? Come on, that's how they won their first cup. This is a Blues thing to do. You must have missed their post-Four Nations record. .1008. Like what, 13 game winning streak post-Four Nations. The Blues don't lose. This is what the Blues are known for. Like being out of it and then just turning a corner and making the playoffs. And then shocking somebody anyway, because that's what they do. Jets behind the net. Goes forward for the Blues. Gains the zone. In the slot. Shot. Hellebuck blocks it. 9:42 to go. Goes down. Neighbors, he's mad. Jets power play. Neighbors called for a trip. Jets go to the power play. I mean, he brought him down. That might just be interference, but it's still 2 minutes. So, Jets the power play, interference, not a trip. Okay, does it matter really? No. 2-minute power play for the Jets. 1-0 Blues. Damn. Here's a crazy stat. Leafs core 4 combined playoff stats. 216 points in 252 games. McDavid and Draisaitl combined playoff stats. 245 points in 160 games. Well, I mean, there's 2 other guys. That's why it's 252, but okay. Still have more points than them. Damn. Waiting for the power play to start. 2 minutes for the Jets. Over halfway through the period. 1-0 Blues. Face off. Nothing there. Ehlers, Connor, Velarde, Perfetti, Morrissey on the ice for the power play to start for the Jets. Plays it shot. Behind the net. Rings around to the blue line. Goes behind the net. Blues can clear. They do. And it's going to be no icing. 1:40 to go on the penalty kill. 9:10 left through the period. 1-0 Blues. They still have one more shot than the Jets. Okay, good steal and good clearance. And the Jets are going to race for it. No icing. 1:22. The Blues, 2 for 14. Or the Jets are 2 for 14 on the power play this series. Not good enough for a team that won the President's Trophy. Sticks it through. Blues. Trying to shut the perimeter. Still at the blue line. High slot. Going to the point. Drops it back to the high slot. At the point. Shot. Binnington covers. Or not. It gets cleared. And no icing. 46 seconds to go. Well, hey, you got a chance to banner him because his wife's a Tottenham fan. How? You know what? He's a better man than I. His wife's his rival's his wife's team is his rival team. He's a better man than I. I don't know how I could stand that. He's a better man than I. Yep. As Baggio said, he died standing. 13 seconds to go on the penalty kill. Still 1-0 Blues. I would hate for them to give this up. 5 seconds to go. Clear, clear, clear. 3, 2, 1. Even strength. If there is a goal, it's going to be put down as even strength, but the Blues got to get back to it. They are. And Neighbors is right there to streak on, and he's taken down at the boards. And no call. No call, as far as I could tell. 7:20 to go in the first period, 1-0 Blues. Ehlers threw it back to the high slot to Morrissey. Then a shot. And saved by Binnington. He pushed it away. Ehlers, his first game since April 12th. He has not played the playoffs. 7:20 face-off for the Blues, offensive zone. And they lose the draw. Blues have it at center. Oh, no. Offside on the Jets. Neutral zone face-off. Tanev offside. 1-0 Blues. 7:14 left in the first. Okay. I mean, probably. I mean, I like Street Profits right now. Motor City Machine Guns, DIY. War Raiders suck. New Day sucks his heels. I thought that triple threat ladder match was pretty good between DIY, Street Profits, and Motor City Machine Guns. Those were three great teams, absolutely fighting and beating each other's ass. Fraxium's good, but shot wide. I don't know if they're as good as those three. They're definitely better than War Raiders and New Day right now. Yeah. Because they actually care about it. And like they have actually good tag teams that people care about who actually are entertaining. That's probably how. Raw's tag team division really is just War Raiders and New Day. Because American Made is stuck doing this dumb bullshit with Chad Gable. I mean, El Grande Americano. I mean, both guys. Or they may be the same guy. I'm not sure. But it's dumb bullshit. It's dumb bullshit. And War Raiders suck ass. And New Day's heels are boring as shit. Shot! Saved. So, that's how. SmackDown at least had good tag team matches. Oh, the Usos aren't a tag team either, so that crutch is gone. That crutch is gone. And then the New Day are heels, so that crutch is gone because they dumbly turned New Day heel. And they suck as heels. They took away their two crutches they love to go to, especially on the main roster. But the New Day are tag champions. They suck as heels. Drops it in, 5:31. They do. $5.18. Blues play it forward. Jets got it back at center. 5:11 to go in the first period. Good block by Falk. Good stick check. It's a check. Yes, it's a check in hockey. Saved. Plays forward. Ooh. Throws it on. Blues try to go behind the net to pick it up. Puck battle at the back wall behind the net. 4:42. St. Louis has more shots than the Jets. Okay. So again, as far as I know, so far, it looks like the St. Louis Blues are doing their Scottrade Center magic. The Jets suck at the road. On the road. The Jets suck on the road. The Blues again playing a full, complete game so far at Scott Trade Center. Again, plays on. Blues rushing forward at the point. Gets cleared away by the Jets, but the Jets are getting smothered by the Blues. Cam Fowler, 9 points this series, a franchise record for most points by a defenseman in the series, and the Jets are on the delayed penalty kill. The Blues empty the net. They have 6 skaters, and they will go on the power play once the puck is touched by the Jets. The Blues. And the Jets touch it. The Blues are going to the power play. Blues are going to the power play. 3:55 or 3:35 to go. So most of the rest of the period is a power play for the Blues. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. I guess it was the hit on Suter that ended up being the power play for the Blues for most of the rest of the period. See what they get out of this. I'm sure. I mean, I don't know the ins and outs of his situation. I can't really speak on that. John Gruden, former NFL coach, is at the Blues game. Okay. Gruden's Grinders. This is a crazy stat while we're waiting for the game to come back. Johnny Somali. That dude is a menace to society. Johnny Somali is a menace to society. Vitali is just, I don't know what to say, but he's a troll. Johnny Somali is a menace to society. There's a difference. There's a difference. There's a difference. Here's a funny stat. Kane's Rod Brindamore is the first coach in NHL history to win at least one round in each of his first 7 seasons behind the bench as a head coach. Just making the playoffs 7 years in a row is an accomplishment in today's NHL, let alone winning at least one series per season. I like Rod Brindamore. Talented coach. Talented coach. Good coach. I'm sure they will. Oh, no. So Sunday is going to be Carolina versus Washington, which means Monday will be Toronto versus Florida. They just announced, well, they're not going to play both Eastern games on Sunday. So if Winnipeg advances, it's going to be Carolina, Washington on Sunday, Toronto on Monday. So we're off on Sunday if the Blues lose. If Winnipeg advances. Exactly. But if they don't, we're here for the Blues game 7. If not, we're going to be off because the MLS schedule looks like shit on Sunday, just to be frank. So if there's no Blues game on Sunday, if that schedule's correct, that means the Leafs are playing Monday, I'm off Sunday. If the Blues lose tonight, but it doesn't look like that. So far, it doesn't look like that's the case. We'll be here Sunday for the Blues. Playing for it, and then Monday for the Leafs. But at least these 2 streams a day, double thing is over. At least. So, even if the Blues play on Sunday. So, could be worse. 55 seconds. Or at least for a while, at least. Shot tipping! And is it going to go? Player in the net for the Jets that isn't Hellebuck. And it's getting a bit chippy over there. St. Louis gets close. Cincinnati seems like the better team, but Citi Field is NYCFC's home. So I say Cincinnati 1-0. Won't be pretty, but I think they'll still win. Sandberg gets thrown into the net. Shot played on. Hellebuck. Shot. Did it? No, it didn't go in. Wait. I'll be disappointed. What a save by Hellebuck. I'm not saying I want you to be. I'm just saying I think Cincinnati's the better team. That they could win an ugly one at Citi Field. Shot. Oh, a good stick save by Hellebuck. Good stick save by Hellebuck to make sure it doesn't go in on Jimmy. But, man, how much does that kid look like a natural, though? Dude, he looks like a natural. He got signed from college a month ago, if not a little more, and the dude looks like a natural. Every time I see him play, dear God, he's amazing. Like, he shouldn't be that good. Oh, wait. Save. Wide. You know what? I'm going to call it. Top two Calder. Top two Calder finalists next year. Demidov is the winner. Second place, Jimmy. Off the Blues. Jimmy off the Blues. Second place. Because the way that kid's playing, he's a natural. He's a natural. You don't see a player come out of college, jump right in the lineup and play like that. You don't see it. You don't. He might be a Nepo baby. That's true, but I don't care. He's talented. He's talented. Sandberg kept it off the line. Cool. So, yeah, but no, Demidov is still going to win the Calder next year. It would take an absolute failure for him not to do that. 1:36 left of the first period. It would take an absolute failure for Demidov not to win the Calder next year. Simple. A 25-26 season. He's going to win the Calder. He's too damn good. He's too damn good. He's too damn good. Shot. He's too damn good. Yeah, if I ain't watching football, I'm watching hockey, yeah. 110. That's normally how it goes for me. When I say football, I mean association football. You actually kick the ball, football. Handball's a penalty football, you know? That's what I'm talking about, yeah. Throws it on. Most of you know that, though. But if you don't, you don't. If you're here and you don't know that, well, you don't. But most of you, I think, do. So, throws on. Oh, behind the net. Good block to make sure it gets cleared for the Blues. 33 seconds to go. Don't give up a goal. Just don't give up a goal if you're the Blues. That's not beneficial. Giving up a goal late is probably the worst thing you could do in either sport, but especially hockey. Goes behind the net. Binnington. Oh, he should have just hit that thing. 10 seconds. He should have hit that thing before. He should have. That was almost a bad decision by Binnington. 2-1-0. Time's up. End of the first. 1-0 Blues. They were the much better team through one. I can tell you that much. The Jets look afraid. The Jets look afraid. They do. And they played pretty well against the Blues. They played pretty well against the Blues in Winnipeg, but now the Jets look afraid again. I don't understand it personally. I don't understand it. Like, why is it so just different? Like, it's kind of crazy, to be fair. Like, the Jets are so much worse. I'm not going to say bad. They're still a talented team, but they are, like, shaking in their boots playing at Scott Trade Center. But at Bell MTS Place, they're calm as a cucumber. The Blues are the ones who are shaking in their boots or skates, I guess. How we doing, Dylan? Lucky goal for Broberg, let's be real. Yeah, it's a lucky goal, but it's not goalie interference because your guy pushed Buchnevich and then pushed your own goalie. So, I mean, it's clean. It's lucky, but it's clean, and you kind of got to blame your own guy. Like, you could screen a goalie. It's not like Buchnevich was even touching Hellebuck. So, let's just be clear. Like, of course, I'm going to defend it, but Buchnevich wasn't even touching Hellebuck. He was screening him. He went to the net. Sandberg, Hellebuck comes out to join Buchnevich. Sandberg runs in, pushes Buchnevich, hits Hellebuck's helmet, puck goes in. That's a clean goal. That's on you. That's on you. Tried to manufacture contact and then push the guy out of the crease and then push your goalie at the same time. I mean, yeah, it's lucky, but it is lucky, but again, it's kind of your guy's fault in general. Buchnevich was doing what he was supposed to do. Broberg claps it on. Your guy pushes Buchnevich while Hellebuck's coming forward for some, knowing it was going to the side. He was coming forward, which I guess he was covering that side. Then he got pushed off that side. The puck goes in. But he pushes forward. It gets pushed because of it. I mean, if anything, it's unlucky for y'all because y'all kind of created the situation that it was in. I don't know if the screen would have done it itself. Broberg just threw it on. Whatever, though. I didn't even know about it. I didn't even know about that happening. I didn't even know Giannis's dad was talking and Tyrese Halliburton's dad was talking. I didn't even know they were chirping at each other. I don't give a shit, frankly. Like, you know how I feel about the NBA right now. The Raptors suck ass, and the way basketball is played, I have no love to watch the NBA if the Raptors suck ass. Like, if the Raptors ain't good, I could give a shit less right now. That's where I am. And the Raptors suck ass. So, well, they did get better at the end of the season, so I'll give it a chance. Next year, I'll watch a couple of early Raptors games. We'll see where they go. I'll watch their record. And then if they are in playoff contention, I'll watch them more. And if they're not, I won't give a shit. And if they're in the playoffs, I'll watch them in the playoffs. And once they get eliminated, I won't give a shit because that's what basketball is. I'm only happy if the Raptors are winning. I don't care about anything else. Olympic basketball was better. I'll admit that. College basketball is better. They at least try to play it the right way. FIBA rules kind of make it have to be played the right way when it comes to Olympic basketball. College basketball, they at least try to play it the right way. So do that what you will. And State's good. And Mississippi State's good, so that helps too. But fair enough. Fair enough, I'll give you that. Wasn't a regular situation. LaMelo's still in. Lonzo's still in. LiAngelo is making music that kind of sucks. I might swerve in that corner. Whoa, whoa. Okay, that was actually pretty good, though. I didn't ironically like the song, but whatever. In the crease, though. So basically, but again, right now, if I'm watching a playoff, it's the Stanley Cup playoffs. Like when the Leafs get eliminated, or I should say if, but it's the Panthers, I will watch the rest of the Stanley Cup playoffs. If the Blues and Leafs are out, I'm still going to watch the rest of it. I love, maybe not cover it, but I'll watch it because I love hockey as much as I do football. Hockey is an amazing sport. It is. Like, yeah, it would suck if the Leafs and Blues are out, which, yeah, it would suck, but it's still enjoyable to watch if my team's not playing. I might bandwagon somebody, but, you know, NBA, if the Raptors aren't good, I could care less, at least about the NBA. Olympic basketball, fine. College, good. Helps the states good, and Canada's good in international basketball. That also helps, but at least they play the right way. They don't play the right way in the NBA. At least the way I like it. Exactly. Actually, speaking of, even with the Leafs and Blues in, I've watched random Stanley Cup playoff games when I can. I watched Carolina, New Jersey, game 3, the overtime at least. I watched a couple of Dallas, Colorado games. I watched a little bit of Edmonton, LA Kings when LA was still doing good in the series, which, you know, that ended horribly. That's why you don't challenge. Or at least do it the way they did it. That was a bad challenge. Can't give the Oilers life. Can't do it. Didn't really watch Florida, Tampa. It ain't Christian Pulisic. Well, yeah, that's kind of a, yeah. Realistically, Cristiano Ronaldo. Memes, Christian Pulisic, because he's much of a fraud as LeBron is. By the way, the GOAT is Michael Jordan. When it comes to basketball, the GOAT is Michael Jordan. Kobe is second. LeBron is not even in the top 2 of GOATs. Kobe is better than LeBron. Kobe. It's Jordan and Kobe, not Jordan LeBron. It certainly ain't LeBron over Jordan, but it ain't even Jordan LeBron. It's Jordan Kobe. Then, honestly, Magic Johnson. Vinny, I'll give you that one. Will. Honestly, better than LeBron. Yeah, I'll give you that one too. Bill Russell, Larry Bird, Shaq. But yeah, Vinny, you could also call him the LeBron of soccer, football. Yeah, you could call him that. Because Vinny is a punk. Like, Vinny's a good player, but like, it sucks that he gets treated like he does. But Vinny is also, he also, you know, doesn't help his case. Like the Ballon d'Or situation. Really? Like the Ballon d'Or situation. He is egotistical. Like, let's just be real. Vinny is egotistical. He is egotistical. Larry Bird was amazing in the 80s. We'll take a short break, talk about the intermission. Blues have the lead. Winning again at Scott Trade Center. There isn't a Mississippi. No, there isn't. There's an O'Fallon, Mississippi. No. No, there isn't. I was born in Mississippi. Yeah. Well, that being said, we'll be back. Sit tight. 1-0 Blues. We're back. We're back. And I will answer those questions. Here we go. All right. Do you think the Blues can win a game 7? Here's my thing. All right. When you look at it, the Blues have been better with their backs against the wall. That's why I think they can. If they win tonight, the Blues have been playing better with their backs against the wall. When they came back from the Four Nations, their backs were against the wall. They rattled off 12-game winning streak, got in the playoffs. Backs were against the wall, having to get in, had to win the final game of the season. Won the final game of the season over Utah strongly. In Winnipeg, those first 2 games, their backs weren't against the wall. This was house money. You're going to lose on the road. I don't think it really bothered them. Then they lost game 2 and really ran out of gas. They come back to Scottrade. Their backs are against the wall. They have to win one here, if not both. They go into game 3, stomp out the Jets with their backs against the wall. Their backs are still against the wall, but they're at home. They're a little bit off of it, but they stomp them again at Scottrade. They go back to Winnipeg for game 5. It's even Steven. Yeah, you have the momentum, but you're at a arena that has a really good home ice advantage during the playoffs. It's going to be hard. You sit and look at it. You're like, okay. If you lose, you lose. They ran out of gas. They had their moments at times. They tied it up, lost it. Their backs are against the wall here. They have to win or they're out. And they're playing another one of those perfect, masterful 60-minute games at Scottrade Center. As far as we could see, so far, it looks like games 3 and 4. They're going to go back to Winnipeg, and their backs are against the wall. It's do or die. You win or you're out. And I think they'll play their best game over there if they go to a game 7 because their backs are against the wall. That's been the Blues all season. They've been better with their backs against the wall. And that's honestly how they did it 2019. Their backs were against the wall. They did better. The more their backs were against the wall, they did. This is the Blues now. Their backs are against the wall, they win. If they're the favorite, they can win, of course, but it's not the same. The Blues are now known for being resilient and performing when their backs are against the wall. So because their backs are going to be against the wall no matter what, even if they win tonight, because game 7, do or die, yes, I think their mentality is better when there's no tomorrow. When it feels like there's no tomorrow, unless you win, their mentality is better. I don't know what it is, but that's what it is. So, yes, honestly, I think they can make Winnipeg blink. If they win tonight, they can make Winnipeg blink on game 7. I believe that for sure. I believe that for sure. No. No. And they won't next year because they lost on penalties. I'm good. Lamel. Yeah. But again, that was kind of how games 1 and 2 went. This is going more like games 3 and 4. I don't understand why Winnipeg, well, I understand it. But again, as I was saying, Winnipeg looks like they're shaking in their boots again at Scottrade Center. And it makes 0 sense. 0. President's Trophy. You're shaking in your boots at Scottrade Center. Like, they got stomped out all 3 games at Scottrade. All of them. Every single one. Is what it is. With that being said, we're on our way. Second period about to start. Like, for me, I think the Blues, if they go to a game 7, which I will be live for, it seems, the Leafs won't play till Monday. That's what it looks like. So I If the Leafs play or the Blues play on Sunday, I'll be here for that. I think they do. I think they play better. Now, is it a tough loss? Who knows? But I think they play better than games 1-3 or 1-2 and 5. They have to. They're better with their backs against the wall. Second period about to start. Let's go Blues. I agree. And we're off. Hellebuck has it behind the net, throws it around. Broberg throws it on from the point. Shot, and it's blocked. Throws it. Hellebuck puts it down. Puck battle behind. Goes back to the Jets. Rolls around. Above the blue line, back to the Blues. Or not. Shot. Goal. Goal. Goal from Winnipeg. 1-1. From the breakaway. Morgan Barron. 29 seconds into the second period. Their third shot. Picks it up on the breakaway. Puts it past Binnington over his shoulder. 1-1. That's not how you want to start a period. That's not how you want to start it. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. Oof. Oof, Madon. Unassisted for now. Let's see what they say. I mean, he picked that up himself. I would agree with the unassisted tag. I would agree there's no assist there. Refs are talking. Oh, offside. It's possibly offside. It is possibly offside. The puck crossed the blue line before the player did. It may be offside. Crap. I really hate that new StreamYard feature. That's why offside. Lord. Disregard both of those. Way offside. Challenging, go big or go home. I think that's offside. I think that's offside. Lucky break. He was offside. That's obviously offside. Dude. Dylan. No. He's way offside, man. That is way offside. The puck crosses the blue line before the player does. That's got to be off. Offside, no goal. Still 1-0 Blues. Blues still have the lead. No goal. I don't think I've ever done that. Cross out somebody's name on a hockey score. Nope. Aye. Offside. Thank the guy upstairs. Thank you, Jesus. That was offside. I'm sorry. Binnington's still not nervous. He never is. He never is. I cannot wait. Justin Falk is going to the box. So the Blues are going to the penalty kill, though. Hooking against Barron. So they saw he hooked him. But it was offside anyway. At least it wasn't a goal against. Now, the problem is yeah. Ehlers, Connor, Velarde, Perfetti, Morrissey to start the power play. From the high slot, shot wide. Woo! With a head of steam. And it goes wide. 1:48 to go on the power play. Slap shot. Again from the high slot. Missed. Wow, what a head of steam. 0 for 1 on the power play. The Jets are. Throws it down the middle. Trying to get back to the high slot at the point. Throws it back. Still trying to find the perfect shot. Binnington! Behind the net! Oh, ho, ho, ho! Binnington makes a 10-bell save. It's time for the Jets to capitalize. The Blues get back into position. Wow. High slot. Throws it to the point. Skates around Ehlers. Back from injury. Throws it on! Not covered. Still the Jets. 53 seconds, man. Oh, this one doesn't feel so fun. Throws it on! Wide. Not as good of a penalty kill as the first one from the Blues. I'll tell you that much right now. For free. 40 seconds. Throws it on. Good stick check. Throws it down. No icing. They'll have to chase it. 30 seconds. 27. 17:59. 22 seconds. Fowler. Trying to hold on to kill the penalty. 11 seconds. They will kill it. Can they get a shorthanded goal? No. Hellebuck's right there. Covers it. Offensive zone face-off for the Blues. That's going to kill the penalty. Whether they win the draw or not, that's going to kill the penalty. He hooked him as he took the shot. So he's offside, but the hooking counts. Okay, that's just no. Okay. So, hey Daniel, I'm rooting for the Blues here, so. Full strength. They lost the draw, but we're back to full strength. Penalty is killed. 0 for 2. Winnipeg on the power play. Oh, I thought you were better than that. Oh, yeah, they've only scored 2 power plays all series, but President's Trophy winners should be much better. 17-14. I got to see the power play percentage for the first round. I think Ottawa were better than them. Well, Ottawa went to 6 games. Yeah, this is game 6 of this series. Come on now. Hey, you guys. I think Ottawa was better on the power play than Winnipeg. That's a shame. That is a shame. I don't care how you slice it. That is a shame. I think the Jets scored more than 2 power play goals. The Devils, my bad. That is more of a shame. One Montreal better on the power play. That's also a shame. Plays forward. I thought it was. Plays forward. I thought it was. No, I'm just going to be celebrating about the fact Vancouver lost the CONCACAF Champions Cup. I'm not going to rub it in your face because honestly, I'm going to have the biggest sigh of relief I think I've ever had in my life. So, no. If you're wrong about Vancouver winning the tournament, I know you're really just saying they're going to win, so you're trolling me. By the way, I'm going to have the biggest sigh of relief in my life. So I'm not in the position to really rub it at people's face if you're wrong. Hell, I might pick them to win the final anyway. It's not even an emotional hedge. I'm not even betting on it. It's just predictions. So do that what you will. 15-21. So no. Yes. Shot wide. Playing forward. 14:57. Ooh. Torpchenko loses the Oh. Well, they're still going to Mexico. Just, I don't know. Maybe they'll I don't think they'll get the shits like Columbus did. No, nobody's ever going to forget about that. 14-29. Blues still have a 1-0 lead. Vancouver's honestly playing better right now than Columbus did last year. And honestly, well, Jets to go back to the power play. Scott Walker gives up a penalty. You mean Nathan Walker? Rory. He's not a governor. He's an Aussie. I think he's Australian. I think he's not a governor, Rory. He's not a perennial presidential candidate. Yeah, that was stupid. I think that was stupid. Official review. Is Monty trying to say he was diving? Is Monty trying to say he was diving? I guess that's what they're looking at. I don't see how that's... Unless it was a slew foot, I don't... Nah. That's not a major. Not in the playoffs. 2 minutes for slashing. Okay. All right. I was like, dude, unless that's a slew foot, that's not a major. Not in the playoffs. Hell, not even in the regular season. If it was a slew foot, I understand. 5 in a game, fine. Go ahead. Slashing, hooking, tripping, no. Not in the playoffs. Not game 6. Not game 6 of the first round. Maybe game 1. Even then. Power play for the Jets. Lord. Man, the NHL refs, I'm not saying it did look like a hook. But the NHL refs have been legitimately horrible this whole playoffs. And I mean the whole. Goal for the Jets. It goes in at the near post. 1-1. They get theirs back, and this one's going to stay. Cole Perfetti, unassisted power play goal. And it's normally those that they get scored on. Cole Perfetti throws it on at the near post and taps it in. 1-1. Damn. Was it at Yankee Stadium or Baltimore? Because if it was, it's probably the short porch? Yeah. I mean, good for him. He's powerful enough to do it. Those are the top penalties you get scored on. Cole Perfetti, unassisted. Nope, it's Connor Morrissey with the assists. Assist from Kyle Connor and Morrissey. That is 5:43 through the period. And that is a 1-1 goal to tie it up. They killed the penalty. Well, the penalty is killed because there was a goal early on, 13:44. So that's 1 for 3 for the Jets on the power play. That's still not great. Their third power play goal of the series. But it might be a change of momentum that they were looking for. 13:44. Kyrou and Shen talking before the face-off. Offensive zone. Throws it on. From the high slot, saved by Hellebuck. Another face-off. In Baltimore. Well, that's actually a really good home run. 500 feet in Baltimore? That's actually a really good home run. I got to say, 13:39 to go. TV timeout, 1-1. Just a little bit before halfway through the game, the Jets tied up. And this one counts. Blues still have more shots, though. How we doing, Sean? Didn't even notice. You doing good after that Devils loss? Did we already cover that? Let's see if the Blues could bring it back. Honestly, I wouldn't want Aaron Judge on the Jays. Nah. We already have a first baseman. Well, no, he's an outfielder. Either way, no. He's getting older. Ohtani was the star that they were looking for. And then, of course, Juan Soto. That didn't happen. So, getting Aaron Judge is like getting Mike Trout. Like, it makes no sense nowadays. Just let him stay. Unless you're right there. Unless, like, you're obviously right there for a World Series, it makes no sense. Now, Aaron Judge would be better for the Braves. The Braves are right there. But it's almost as dumb for the Jays to get Aaron Judge as if the Cardinals did it. It's almost as dumb because the Cardinals aren't even there. The Jays have a chance to compete. The Cardinals, they suck right now. They do. They do. It's oh, by the way, if you don't know this, I say this because I know they suck. It hasn't been the same since Yachty and Albert retired. That's where the Cardinal way died. Because guess what? They were the Cardinal way. Yadier Molina and Albert Pujols were the Cardinal way. Now it's just a bunch of failed prospects and freaking bargain bin replacements. That's what it is. That's what the Cardinals are. John Mozeliak is a joke. Saved by Hellebuck. That'll be a face-off. That'll be caught offensive zone face-off. Still 1-1. And honestly, I don't know if Chaim Bloom can fix it. That's the problem. I don't know. I don't know if he can. I don't know if he can. How about Piojo Herrera to Toronto? Honestly, nobody's going to save. Nobody will save TFC. Call the Pirate. That's, well, unless they call the Pirate. That's about it. Nobody else will. Nobody else can. Yes, but not as bad. They were mediocre. Now they suck. There's a difference. They've sucked since Albert Pujols and Yachty have retired. And the 1 year Waino still played, he was horrible. God love him, but still. Save. Like, that was a bad year for Waino. So, Adam Wainwright. So, mediocre, yes, for like the past 11 years. Shit for the past 2. Actually, no, 3. 3. Save. Like, there's a reason why people in St. Louis are gravitating more towards the Blues and City and the Battlehawks. Because they're actually good. Well, the City had a really good expansion year, and they're better than they were last year, in my opinion. Yes, they don't score as many goals, but I feel like they look better than last year, especially at the start, comparing, in my opinion. The Blues is the Blues, and the Battlehawks are good, very good. Speaking of, they're all playing at the same time. In St. Louis, no less. One at the Edward Jones Dome, one at Busch, one at Scottrade. Man, that's got to be hell. Man, that had to be hell getting there. Also, the Blues have a party, like a Maple Leaf Square-ish viewing party, whatever you want to call that. Shot wide, 11-11. So that must have been hell to get to as well. I'm sure people are staying at Ballpark Village, even if they aren't at the Blues or the Cardinals game, or the Blues game, or the Battlehawks game. I'm sure they're all on the TVs at FanDuel Sports Live Midwest. I'm sure that's what they call it now. I don't think they call it Bally anymore, but I don't know. Fox Sports Midwest Live. I'd just rather call it that. Hell, I don't even call it FanDuel Sports Network Midwest. I'll just call it FSN Midwest. Because technically that's what it is. Thank you, nostalgia. Thank you, nostalgia. It kind of works, ironically enough. $10-19. 2-on-1 save by Bennington. Be cleared by the Blues. 10-12 to go, halfway through the period. As his puck's played forward to center. The Blues have a chance. They're onside. Drops the shot. Nope. Halfway through the period, 1-1. End to end. Somebody, a local Vancouver billionaire who likes football. I don't know who that is. Or Ryan Reynolds. There we go. Yeah, Ryan Reynolds. He's from Vancouver, you know. Yeah, Ryan Reynolds. That sounds good to me. He wouldn't move him. He's probably got the money. He already has he has a share in Necaxa. He has Wrexham. Yeah, Ryan Reynolds. Has a share in a Mexican team. Oh no. Well, I don't think they'd ever both make the Club World Cup. But if they did, I guess he can't because multipropiedad. Shit. I guess he can't because of multipropiedad. Damn it. Well, Wrexham's probably the one they have to worry about, not Vancouver. Or, well, Portnoy would move him. Oh, wait, he can't move him to Boston. There's the Revs. Portnoy would be a better owner for the Revs. No. Last year was their chance, and they blew it. They're done. Like, honestly, though, Dave Portnoy owning the Revs would be genius. They'd actually win. I don't know about the Patriots. That might be a little bit too much money. But Robert Kraft is a horrible owner, turns out. And Jonathan Kraft is even worse. So, because they're also the Patriots owners. And Jesus Christ, Jonathan is a Nepo baby who has no idea what he's doing. Robert doesn't have much idea either, but Jonathan definitely has no idea what he's doing. Nepo baby. So, yeah, if Dave Portnoy owns the Revs, I'd actually be afraid they might win something. I'm sure he'd be a better owner. At least he'd spend money. Kraft wouldn't do that. 956. Probably not, but at least he'd spend money. He ain't going to buy something just to say he has it. He's going to spend money to do better for it. At least try to. Kraft doesn't even spend money. So Portnoy's better just to spend money behind the net. Played forward down center. 1-1. 9:15 to go. Over halfway through the game. The Blues have it 1-1. Throws it on. To the point. I mean, you skated straight to a defender. That was dumb. Robert Thomas just skated straight to a defender. That was not the smartest play. Broberg throws it on behind the net. Think Judge will win a ring somewhere else? No, because he signed the contract with the Yankees. I don't think he'll leave New York. He had a chance and he didn't. So, shot, goal, 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 St. Louis. 1-2. Walker, the Aussie. He goes to the box, causes the penalty that they get scored on, and gets it back. Blues lead 2-1. Walker. taps it in. Nathan Walker. Broberg and Falk with the assists. Yeah, he's the Aussie. Yep. The Aussie scores. Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. Oi, oi, oi. Blues. Broberg throws it on. Walker taps it in. He gets right and scores the goal. His third goal of the playoffs, 2-1 Blues. Just over halfway through the game. 7:59 to go. Well, I must be behind. Why is TNT so much slower than ESPN? The Game Center is so much faster than TNT, I swear. It's weird. Throws it on. 8:06 to go. Throws it on. 7:52. 11:34 with the assists. Broberg, Falk, Shen. Wow. This game is behind. Throws it behind. Bennington. Let's watch how the Shen goal played out. Just runs in. Shen! Boom! 3-1 Blues. Dear God. Dear God, Shen. Woo! Neighbors and Suter with the assist, but Braden Shen, the captain. Dear God. Show some mercy. Holy Lord. 3-1 Blues. Holy Lord. Said, nah, we ain't going to get tied up again. I'm going to throw this one on. Pass the glove of Hellebuck. Way too far out of his crease, or just way too far in front of the net. Gives way too much open space, and you can't let Braden Shen have that open space. Do you not know who he is? And Bennington covers, or Hellebuck, but my bad. Bennington's actually a good goalie. Hellebuck isn't. True TV is faster than TBS, or TNT. Well, thank you. Yep, there we go. At least a little bit. Look at my shirt. Dylan, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you remember, but I know you're a Jets fan, but look at the shirt I'm wearing. This is always going to be enemy territory for a day. It's nothing against you. It's just business. Braden Shen from Neighbors and Suter. Broberg and Falk on the Walker goal. That is 11:34 through the period on the Walker goal. 1-2. Braden Shen. And Cam Fowler. Oh, Lord. Throws it behind the net. Lands back to Cam Fowler with a slap shot. Goal! Oh, my God. Wham, bam, Cam Fowler. Colton Parayko with the assist. Another slap shot from the high slot. And Hellebuck is going to get chased. I mean, well, not yet, but I'm sure he will. Cam Fowler. 4-1 Blues. We're going to Winnipeg. Jesus Christ. 6:20 left through the period. Oh, my God. The Jets are imploding. Oh, my God. Oh, my God, they're imploding. The Blues only have one cup. The only funny part about that is the Blues won their cup before the Leafs ever won a cup after 1967. The Blues started as a franchise the season after the Leafs won their last cup. The Blues have won one before the Leafs. That's the funny part, okay? I was happy about it because, you know, the Leafs were out. The Bruins knocked them out, and I was happy about the Blues making that run, but they're my second favorite team. But most of the time, I'm not going to lie. I feel like I'm a better Blues fan than people who have them as their first favorite team. No disrespect, but still. Yeah. 5:34 to go, 4-1 Blues. They don't favor the Blues. They don't play in Nashville or Florida. We're not Southern. The St. Louis is not Southern enough to get favored. They're not. They just won a cup by the grit that team had. And maybe they'll do it again. That goes wide. Stoppage of play. 5:14. They're not Southern enough to be favored. And the Blues are going to the power play. So it's not even like they're Southern enough to be nice. Like, they're not a Floridian team. Dude, the Blues, I'm not saying they've had their share. Dude, the Blues have had their legacy of failure before they won that cup. And this little run they're having. So it's not like it's as good as being a Floridian team's fan. Dude. Like, that's the nice ones when it comes to American teams. Bettman supports the Floridian teams, and they're just good enough to win a cup. They have a good enough roster. If Arizona had a good enough roster, they would have won a cup. Now they're in Utah. If Nashville had a good enough roster, they did make a run, but they didn't win a cup. They're the ones he supports. He doesn't support St. Louis. They're not Southern enough. Dude, they're not Southern enough. So it is kind of funny, though, that yeah, there was a lot of Ontarian players and Canadian players on that Blues team, which is pretty cool. Oh, no, yeah, Robert Thomas, Canadian. Oh, yeah, there was a lot of Canadian players. Yeah, I remember. I saw the roster. Jordan Binnington's still there. He's from Richmond Hill. It's funny. The Leafs backup is from Dardine Prairie. Joseph Wool, which is close to St. Louis, by the way, on the Missouri side of the river. Dardine Prairie is close to St. Louis. The Leafs backup is from Dardine Prairie. He was the starter during the last playoffs when they played their best hockey. That's kind of funny, you know. I find that funny. And Jordan Binnington's from Richmond Hill, which is pretty close to Toronto, which is pretty funny. But, you know, it's funny. St. Louis has a close to Toronto goalkeeper or goalie on their team. Toronto has a goalie from close to St. Louis on their team. I find that pretty cool. It's game 3 and 4 all over again. Exactly. Playing 4. Blues on the power play for 144. I'm sure it started already before I saw it because I've been saying that. I don't know if you were here, but they suck right now. And John Mazalok's a joke. In the slot, throws it back to Fowler. Shot on at the point. Jimmy. Good shot. He's so good, man. He's such a natural. Like, dude just came out of college, man. Jimmy just came out of college. And this kid is a natural, man. He's so good. He's going to be the second place Calder finalist next year under Ivan Demidov because Ivan Demidov is just different. But Jimmy, second place to Ivan Demidov next year for the Calder. Called it. I'm calling it right now. Unless Ivan Demidov gets injured halfway through the year, then he'll win it because reasons. But Demidov, then Jimmy. But damn. I'm calling that right now for the Calder. I'm calling that right now. He's so good, man. He's so good. 58 seconds. So good. 33 seconds left on the power play. Playing forward, 46 seconds. Where was that? Oh, there we go. Throw it on. Shot by Shen! They still have the puck on the power play. Throws it on at the point. Jets have it to clear. Throws it behind the net. 17 seconds. 3 goals. They're all even strength. They don't score on the power play. What is this game? This is, I don't know, man. This is crazy. Throw it on. Yeah, no, the Islanders aren't going to make the playoffs. No. Cam Fowler. Even strength. Nothing on the power play. 3:05 to go. Throw it on. If they score even strength, goal. Oh, my God. So even strength, barely a goal. Barely back on even strength, a goal. You can't score on the power play, though. Lord, St. Louis, dude. 5-1 Blues. Get out, Connor. Get out. Toropchenko with a goal. Foxo the assist. Lord. This game has turned into a comedy. Get out, Connor. Horrible giveaway by the Jets. DeMello doesn't even watch it. Which, dude. Foxa throws it on. Toropchenko with a clapper, and boom, 5-1. Alexei Toropchenko. Let me catch up, damn it. 5-1 Blues. What am I supposed to do? They're winning 5-1. Is that... I'm calling the goals. I don't feel like that's a glaze. I'm calling the goals. Dude. Like, am I happy they're going in? Yeah. I guess. But I don't think it's glaze. Toropchenko got an assist and then a goal. Lord. Comrie is still on the bench. They haven't pulled Hellebuck. Why? We'll see during the review. They haven't pulled him yet. Bottle another game in a period. Yeah, 4 goals in the second period. Wait, did that happen? Hold on. 1, 2, 3. 3 against in the second period in game 4. This time it's 4. Now I'm finally caught up on the score sheet. 16:57 in the period for Toropchenko. That is 1-5. And it's 1:53 left in the second period. And we're going to Winnipeg on Sunday. You know what? I can't wait till we're not at each other's throats anymore. There's only 2 more days of this. And that's going to be a power play. Wait, what? Power play for the Blues, holding the stick on Logan Stanley. That is not what that looked like at all. Okay. So that's either a stupid penalty or a horrible call. Which? 1:52 left, and there's a power play. Another penalty for the Jets. Yeah. 149. Neighbors Shen, sun-kissed Kairu Falk. 0 for 3 on the power play, the Blues are, but they're winning 5-1. This game is nuts. Offside. They're winning. I mean, true. It would be crazy if the home team won every game and then the Jets, well, yeah. If they could barely beat the Blues, I hope I'm wrong, but they're going to get stomped out by Dallas or Colorado. If they could barely beat the Blues, like, I don't even think the Jets will win every home game against Dallas or Colorado. When it comes down to that, like, the thing that saved the Jets is they've won every home game. The Blues have been afraid to play in Winnipeg. The Jets have been afraid to play in St. Louis. It's that simple. If you really want to boil it down to brass tacks, 112. You really want to boil it down to brass tacks. Like, something changes when they go to St. Louis. It's that damn arch. I thought the arch only waited away severe weather. No, turns out the arch also turns off, the magnetic arch also turns off the Jets' good hockey powers. Is that a side effect? Yeah, I know how that feels. Yeah, I know how that feels. Yeah, I totally understand how you feel there. Bring a World Series trophy to a hockey game. Like, that's not the flex you think it is. The Cardinals suck now. That's not the flex you think it is. Playing forward. Plays on. Oh, loses the handle, but the Blues still have it high slot. Goes to the point. Throws it back. Blues. Shot! Oh, save. Jimmy. Dude, he's so good. Man. Throws it back. That'll be offside. And that'll be the end of the period. 8 seconds to go left on the power play, but that's the end of the second. And it's been an absolute bloodletting by the Jets. The Blues up 1-5. Seem like we're going back to Winnipeg on Sunday. We'll be live for it. Yep, I know how that feels. Sounds just like the Leafs. So your GM is basically Brennan Shanahan. Thank you. End of the second. 5-1 St. Louis. Woo! With that being said, we'll take a short break at the intermission. 20 more minutes. Okay. Sit tight, be back. Blues leading 1-5. It would take an absolute miracle for the Jets to come back and end the series tonight. So with that being said, sit tight. We will be back. All right, we're back. The Blues did exactly what they had to do. No, I don't think so. May 10. I think by the time that happens, they'll probably be playing on the road. Let's see. If they win Game 7, they'll probably play a Wednesday, Friday, Sunday. So no. Scottrade Center can replace the ring with the ice by then, because it's a Saturday pay-per-view. So I think, because they'll be the team who has to go away, just like they did this series, they will not have home ice. So even then, they play on a Friday. I would guess that if the Blues play and they win on Sunday, it's either a Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. Oh. Yeah, so probably Wednesday, Friday, Sunday. So no, I don't know. No, I think they're good. I think it's good. It's just ridiculous every playoffs. Yeah, you say that now. You say that now. Let me tell you, that's a lie. I know that's a lie because I've said before things like, if Brendan Shanahan doesn't get fired this offseason, I'm going to stop watching the Leafs. Or if Mike Babcock doesn't get fired, I'm going to stop watching the Leafs. After Game 7 of 2019, and then they fired him halfway through 2019. If they don't fire Sheldon Keefe, I'm going to, there you go. Or if they don't trade Mitch Marner, I'm not watching. I've said stuff like that in the heat of the moment when they blow it. I know how that feeling feels. Never really had that feeling with the Blues. They always put up a good fight, even if they don't win. But when it comes to the Leafs, I've said those words before. When you're pissed off, you say those words. By the time the middle of September comes around, you forget you ever said that. And then when somebody says, but didn't you say? Bullshit, I did. Or you know how these go. Or you know how these things go. You say some things when you're mad, and then they don't do it, and you still watch because you love the team. You're in on the crest. And then you set yourself up for disappointment once you get back to once it happens again. But again, isn't that what we're here to do? Isn't that what fanatic means? Isn't that what fanatic means? So I mean, okay, all right. Maybe it's because people care more when Toronto does it. Maybe it's because Toronto's the center of the universe, but maybe that's why it feels worse. Maybe that's when Toronto pulls what they pull. Maybe that's when it feels worse. And it's also worse when they fight back to a Game 7 and then they blow it anyway. I'd rather get swept. Like, seriously, I'd rather get swept because at least it's not as embarrassing. So you go down 3-1. Well, sometimes they go up 3. They've went up 3-1 a couple of times. They almost went up 3-0 and got reverse swept anyway. Luckily, that didn't happen. That would have been a shit show. But, okay, they went up 3-1 once and blew it. But normally they come back from behind. And then they give people hope. And then they break them like it's Mortal Kombat and rip your spine out like they're Sub-Zero. But whatever. Maybe it's because Toronto's the center of the universe. That's why it's worse. Everybody's going to make fun of them. People don't make fun of the Jets. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. The only jokes I hear about Winnipeg is they don't have a freaking airport. That's the only Winnipeg jokes I hear. That's not even about the hockey team. So, yeah, they might be the ultimate bottlers. At least you don't have to hear about it years after the fact. Even after they win a round, you still hear about 2013 Boston, 2017. Well, no, the Capital Series wasn't so bad. 2018 Boston, 2019 Boston, 2020 Blue Jackets, 2021 Canadiens, 2022 Lightning, 2023 Panthers. I don't know why people complain about that one. That was more like what I'd like to see. Shit, if we're going to lose, just throw us out like old meat. Like old side of meat. Thank you very much. 2024 Boston Bruins, almost 2025 Sens. Still have to hear about it, even when they win. Well, they know how to win they know how to win internationally. I collect a lot of jerseys. I collect a lot of jerseys, and it's useful for... I've always collected a lot of jerseys, even if I don't even like the team. There's like one jersey I wouldn't wear. Well, when it comes to football, I would never wear a Montreal Impact jersey. Other than that, or CF Montreal. Hockey, I would never wear a Bruins sweater. I would never wear an Ottawa Senators sweater. I would never do that. But having as many jerseys as I do also helps me when I cover all the shit that I cover. Doesn't mean anything unless it's the team I'm actually rooting for, which I actually am rooting for the Blues. So, but like wearing a Portland jersey, that don't mean nothing. It's just Portland's playing, and I'm wearing their jersey. But I just like collecting jerseys, even if they're a team that I don't support, because it also helps this. So it's better than wearing a freaking random color John Cena shirt that fits the colors of the team that's playing. It is, though. Thank God he has so many t-shirts that I have with all the colors of the rainbow, but still. Dude, if I was glory hunting, I'd choose teams better than Toronto teams. Dude, if I was glory hunting, I'd be an Alabama fan instead of a Mississippi State fan. Come on. If I was glory hunting, I wouldn't be a Blue Jays, Raptors, Leafs, TFC, Argos. Well, Argos do win Grey Cups, but still. And even then, second favorite teams, St. Louis-wise, shit, besides the Cardinals, yeah, that don't really help me either. If I'm glory hunting, I'm doing a shitty job of it. If I'm glory hunting, I'm doing a really shitty job of it. I can see why you make that assumption, though. At least I had this guy. At least I had this guy for most of my life. I could see why you make that assumption. See, that's the only time I did a good job of glory hunting. And also being a John Cena fan, but who cares? That's the only 2 times I did a good job of it. I'll give you that much. That's the only 2 times I did a good job of glory hunting. I'm doing a really shitty job at it. True. I won't lie, you're right. And then they choke anyway. Yeah. It's like, yeah. We never learn. This year is different. Well, let's see if that's ironic or not. Yeah, that's true. It's like the Cowboys, though. It's like the Dallas Cowboys. You could say the same thing about the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys ain't done shit since 1990. What, 6? Yeah, look at that. Well, at least it was the 90s. Hey, I understand that, but I gotta. It's like the time Alex asked, so you hate Cena. There are some topics that I'm like, hey, dude, come on. It's pretty obvious what the answer is, but I'm still going to defend my corner. So, nothing against it, but if you get me going, you're going to get me going. So it's fine. You freaking spun me like a top, and I just rambled. It's fine. It's fine, though. But, yeah, I mean, the only good time I did, well, I'm not saying I did, but if you could call Tom Brady. Watching Tom Brady win Super Bowls glory hunting, that was a good job. That was a good job. Other than that, and following Tom Brady till he retired, and John Cena, and being a Cena fan since the whole time, and still now. So, those are the good ones. Everything else, I just give myself, like, if I wanted to glory hunt, dude, I could have done a way better job. Like, the point of glory hunting is to watch winners, not give yourself PTSD every year, every single time you watch them play. It's true. Inter Miami, or is it just the pink? That's a jersey collection. That's a jersey collection move. And also, well, it's smart to, cover Miami. Pink is a cool color, though. I like wearing pink. I'm not afraid to do it. But Miami's more of a business. Covering Miami games is more of a business decision. And you got to stay somewhat positive because the Messi fans will want you to stay positive. So, deep down, I'm starting to see Miami as fraudulent heels. Deep down, you want my real thoughts on Miami? I'm starting to see them as fraudulent heels, as a joke. But I can't say that because I'll piss off the Messi fans. And, well, if I do that, then it's, maybe that's a good idea. Oh, Comrie's in for the third period. You didn't take him out? Okay, fine. Comrie in for the whole third period. We're off. But, I mean, understanding. You can't piss off the Messi fans because if you do, they ain't going to watch you, I think I've been open about Vancouver. I want them to lose. I think I've been obviously open about Vancouver. I want them to lose. Me wearing that Vancouver jersey for like the recap video was me basically like losing a bet. That's what that was more like. They do have cool jerseys though, which is, again, jersey collection thing, but playing forward. I think my stance on Vancouver and the Champions Cup is I want them to lose. It's pretty obvious, my stance. Exactly. But it's good for viewership to talk. I know how you feel. Hey, I know how you feel. I feel the exact same way come April, just for a different Canadian team. So it's not like it's my fault for being a Blues fan second. It's my fault. It's my fault for this obviously being enemy territory, and you're just, and me being so entertaining that it doesn't matter to you. You're still going to be here. Sorry for tooting my own horn. Even though it's enemy territory, I'm so entertaining. You're here anyway. But I understand it. Connor Hellebuck, 16 playoff career starts since 2023. 4.66 goals against average, .828 save percentage, including tonight. Jesus Christ. Exactly. Jesus Christ. Like how? Like seriously, like something's got to be in his head though. Like being real, something's got to be in Hellebuck's head. They either use him too much during the regular season that he chokes in the playoffs, or he's in his own head. He's so in his own head that he can't play in the playoffs. Which is it? How do you go from a Vezina winner, an obvious locked-on Vezina winner, and possibly an MVP voted player to a freaking pumpkin? Like how? And a Jets player's down on the ice. Nemestikov. And he's bleeding, so that might be a double minor. That might be a double minor. $17.32. Did they not call anything? Oh, it might have been when he went into the wall. Okay, so it wasn't a high stick. But he is bleeding. Oh, no, it hit him on the back end. Oh. Yeah, I think that's a double. That should be, at least. They're not calling a penalty on that, and that should at least be 2 minutes. I'm going to be front. That should at least be 2 minutes, if not a double. What are you doing? He was bleeding off a high stick. I don't care if it came from behind. Like, I will legit call. That's a bullshit call. Well, I know the game's over, but dude, you got to call that. You got to call that, man. Man, I hate NHL referees this year. They're so bad, man. They're so bad. Plays down. Bennington throws it back. You got to call that. Hey, if I ran about Messi, the hockey fans are going to run away, so I'm going to leave it alone. $17.05. Playing forward. Shot wide. And it's getting chippy. Dear God. Not again. And the gloves are dropped. And he just got wrestled down anyway by Justin Falk. Justin Falk didn't even drop his gloves. He just wrestles him down. Oh, God. Here we go. 16:46 through the third period. 5-1 Blues. Here we go. The Jets are doing it again. Like, if you're this pissed off about losing, why not play better? Again. Like, I get during the playoffs, if you're losing by like this, you have to let off steam. But, dude, if you care that much about winning, and every time they played in St. Louis, it's ended in blows, why don't you play better? Daniel with a super chat. No. I think you're a very loyal fan. You're an NYCFC fan. You're a fan of the Isles, which good luck on that. It used to be really good. It's going to get worse from here on. No, you're a loyal fan. You choose teams. Like, the teams you root for are local teams or teams that aren't super great. No, I think you're a loyal guy. You're a loyal guy. You're a true fan. I wouldn't call you a glory hunter, no. I agree. And there's 3 players in the box for the Winnipeg Jets. 3 players in the box, 2-minute power play. What? Must have been 2 Blues that got sent to a box as well. Yes, there was. So for the third Jet, there's a power play. But Justin Falk and Buchnevich are in the box as well. So that offsets 5-on-4 hockey because the extra Winnipeg Jets. Tanev, Morrissey, and Toninalo. That is a full box. I'm the man in the box. Straighten out your mortal soul and get to the box. I'm the man in the box. It's not exactly Messi's fault. It's more the fact his friends are elderly invalids who need walkers. Busquets needs a walker. He probably would play better if he had one. Luis Suarez needs a walker. He probably would play better if he had one. Jordi Alba's starting to fall off a little bit too. And then the other players that are there are trash Argentinian players that honestly would only get moved forward if they play well with Messi. And turns out right now, unless they con other teams into buying them, it's not going to happen. So, yeah, Messi still has it in him, but he has a bunch of old invalid losers and bootlickers on the team around him, and it doesn't help. See, the guys who were MLS veterans who know how to play MLS football got sent out of the team because they're not Argentinian. They're not Messi's friends. We're better than this. That doesn't work. You still need MLS veterans. Robert Taylor should have stayed. You did this to yourself. Throws it on. Shot missed. My point. It's not exactly Messi. It's the absolute bungling of everything else and Father Time coming for everybody else but Messi. Don't like Suarez? It's not that I don't like him. It's more the fact that his time is over. He's washed. He's washed. His knees are gone. Like, even last year, he was somewhat better. He was somewhat better than he was this year. He was scoring a lot of goals. He started slow, but he's scoring a lot of goals. He's done. He's cooked. Shot. Saved by Comrie. Covers it. Face off 26 seconds to go on the power play. So it's not that I don't like him. It's just the fact of the situation. His legs are gone. Like, he might as well play on a walker. Like, I remember when Suarez was peak. I remember Liverpool Suarez. It wasn't even Barca Suarez that was the best Suarez. It was Liverpool Suarez. I remember that. That was peak. Like, he even had his moments in Miami and Gremio and Atletico and Barca, but Liverpool was the best Suarez. It's just been down from there when it comes to his actual production. But he's had his moments, but plays it around the net. I agree. Sort of. But hey, David Beckham sort of did it too. Let's not forget, David Beckham, the LA Galaxy, yeah, they won a couple of cups with him, but it took a while. And Messi's not going to stay as long as Beckham did. Beckham stayed a good bit. But at least Beckham won an MLS Cup. At least Beckham won trophies that actually mattered. Messi doesn't seem to do that, depending on how long he'll stay. Beckham was sort of a scam until he won, but Messi's not going to be around as long as Beckham was in the end. I agree. I think he would be. I think Pele, his talents would have moved through time and been good nowadays. I think Pele would have been amazing under Pep Guardiola or Jurgen Klopp. I think he would be better than Maradona. I think out of those two, if you move them into the present day at their peak, Pele wouldn't have lost a step. Maradona, just as a footballer, I don't think he would have transferred well to how they play football nowadays, as well as the fact that coaches would be so mad that he's a partier and snorts lines of coke like it's his birthday. So his conduct would also hurt him if Maradona was dropped into the current day. But even the way he played, I don't think it would be very conducive to the way football's played nowadays. But also the managers who are very much more professional nowadays would also be pissed off at the fact he snorts coke like it's his birthday, or he did snort coke like it was his birthday. So do that what you will. Comrie makes a save. Yeah, I could agree with that. And the Blues will go to the power play. Wait, no. Are they? Sounds like the Blues are going to the power play again. 5-on-4. They added the power play, 12:59 left in the period. Let me reload this. It feels like that's behind. Maybe they're ahead, but yeah. So you're saying he'll pull a Beckham, he'll finally win, and then he won't look like a freaking scammer. Okay. Looks like there is a power play. 1-5. Jesus. Hand of God. I mean, it's one of the most memorable moments, but it's just another thing of Maradona's cult of personality. Maradona being Maradona. I think Maradona's legacy is more of a cult of personality. I don't know how to put it other than that. Like, Maradona's legacy is a cult of personality. Like, it's like Charlie. Oh, no, it wasn't a power play. Okay, so nothing. It was just a stoppage of time. Game center was okay. But, like, Maradona was loved because of why the same reason people love Charlie Sheen. And I'm a fan of Charlie Sheen. I love Charlie Sheen's movies. Anger Management, the series he did when he left 2.5 Men. I loved Anger Management. I didn't watch it live. I watch it more on like that 24/7 channel. But good show. It's better than people say it is. Either way, I love 2.5 Men when Charlie Sheen was on it. I liked not Mr. Baseball, Major League. People like Charlie Sheen for the same reason people are fans of Maradona. The cult of personality and the charisma and the shit that he got down to. It's that simple. That's the way I could put it. That's the way I could put it, frankly. $12.50. Toropchenko. Oh, Lord, there's about to be a fight. So, over under on somebody getting punched. Again, I definitely agree. There we go. Yeah. $12.50. Stopped your play. Wasn't even a full fight. They just squared up. Like, okay. Like, it wasn't even a fight. They stopped the play. Dude, they're talking shit at each other. You stop play for that? Okay, yeah, no, that makes no sense. Charisma draws, exactly. $12.50. 4-on-4 for 2 minutes. It's 4-on-4 for 2 minutes. $12.50 to go. Jesus Christ. It's become a Bush League game. Every single one of them at Scott Trade Center have become Bush League. Every single one of them have become Bush League at Scott Trade Center. The Jets starting fights. I mean, you can't not answer the bell. Like, every game at Scott Trade Center has become Bush League at the third period. It just has. It's every one of them. Game 4 did. This one has. Game 3 did. Damn, Monty almost slipped. Bush League. It's wild, honestly. 5-on-4. Jets are on the power play. Okay. All right. Plays forward. Jets have it. Can they score on the power play? Shot. Tapped. Behind. But at this point, yeah, we're going to Winnipeg. The question is can the Jets score another? Can the Jets score one to add on just because? Hmm. 149 to go. Cody Rhodes is no longer listed as a featured superstar for tonight or next week's SmackDown. At the earliest, he's scheduled to appear is May 16th. That's fine. Like, the longer we can go without seeing Cody, I'm fine with that. Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm good with. I'm good. I'm good. Cody could take a long vacation. I'm fine with it. The last Xbox I bought was a 360, so PlayStation. So no, haven't even heard of it, but I'm more of a PlayStation guy than Xbox. Plays forward. I will say, though, Xbox Game Pass does seem much better than PlayStation Plus. I will say that much, though. That it does seem like a much better service, Game Pass, than PlayStation Plus. But I don't play online anyway. So when I do play games, I don't play online anyway. So it's going to be on there, too. Yeah. What's new? 22 seconds. Yeah, what's new? Shot. Shot goal, Jets! Jets make it 2-5. It does go in. Shot. Tapped in after the goalie came out. So it's 2-5. Appleton throws it on. Tapped in. It's 2-5. "18 career postseason goals." Damn. 3-goal deficit, 10 minutes to go. I've seen those be blown. But it's a power play goal. $8.54 through the period. 2-5. 10:52 to go. 5-2. I don't think that exactly. Appleton threw it on, tapped in, as Binnington was out of the net. 5-2. $10.23. See if that shows up to the goal visualizer. Walker tapped it in. Shen. $10.02. Still a 3-goal lead for the Blues. I enjoy the edge goal visualizer. That's pretty cool. That's a pretty cool. $9.30. 50 minutes down. 51 minutes down. 9 to go. The Blues have the lead. The Jets. Throws over the top. Drops it. Looks like there will be a game 7 when it comes to this series. Plays it back. Start Comrie next game. Should have done it earlier in the series. Yeah, but Hellebuck hasn't been bad in Winnipeg, though. If you were going to start him, it would be game 6. Like he's still allowed goals in Winnipeg, but it's not destroying. It's not backbreaking. Goal! Another goal! Another tap in by the Jets. Is it going to count? Nope, the Blues are on the power play. What the? Appleton called for a minor penalty. 11:30 through the period. So it doesn't count. So another tap in doesn't count. Nemestikov threw it in. It was tapped in. Okay, it was Nemestikov who slapped it forward on the power play goal. Okay, Nemestikov shoots it on, and then it was tapped in. Okay, so Nemestikov had the. Okay, we'll go with it. 4-on-4, 2 minutes. It's a 4-on-4 for 2 minutes, and it's not a goal against. Nope, Jets are on the power play. Okay, this is getting confusing. Okay, so it's just like the first one. They're on the power play because there's 3 Blues in the box. And okay. Jets on the power play. Why does this feel like disaster? Why does this feel like disaster is about to happen? True. No. Oh, no, it's 3-3 in the box now. It looks like it's going to be a 4-on-4. How many times are we going to change the situation? All right. 5-2 Blues. No. No. If necessary, the Blues play in Winnipeg at 6 p.m. East or 6 p.m. Central, 7 Eastern. So it is going to be that time. They actually, okay. Avalanche Dallas tomorrow at 7 p.m. Central. I'm doing the TFC game. I might watch that, though. I don't know. We'll see. Just on my own, anyway. Five on four. No, it is. A power play for the Blues? What? 8:30 to go. Okay, I'm lost. I'm lost. Okay, so there's 4 Jets in the box. No, it's 3 Jets in the box, 2 Blues. Okay, I'm lost. I know there was a fight, but didn't seem as bad as the other one. 0 for 5, the Blues are on the power play. That's not good news. It's not good news for the Blues. Slashing on Appleton is the penalty. Okay, 142. 138 to go on the power play. Blues drop it in. 8:03. 130. Shot. Wide. Past Comrie. Past the net. 115. So it seems to me we're going to be live Sunday night for Game 7. Broberg. TFC live tomorrow. Game 7 live Sunday. And a high stick on Parayko. The Whitecaps have looked amazing this season, which is why I'm actually scared they're going to win. Oh, no, he tried to. He had him with a 3-quarter face lock. He had him in a 3-quarter face lock. What are you doing? He had him in a 3-quarter face lock. It was like he was about to DDT him. Jesus Christ, dude, what are you doing? Dude, what are you doing? 52 seconds on 4-on-4, and then we're going to go to a Jets power play once the 40 seconds. Parayko for roughing on a 3-quarter face lock. WWE NHL. It's not the first time this week. I mean, if you're going to go that far, you might as well drop his head into the ice, right? I'm joking. Half joking. It's kayfabe. I'm half joking. He's a better man than I. 15 seconds. My carny instincts would kick in. Boom. Boom. Well, that would kind of hurt, though. Your back's going on the ice. Well, it's not that much different to a ring. I mean, it's not much foam on the canvas. It's mostly wood. you're still hitting mostly wood and metal under that. So it's not even that much different. 56 seconds left on the power play. 6:13 to go in the third period. Honestly, I don't want to find out what's worse to bump on, actually. I don't know if I want to find out what's worse to bump on. Shot! Saved by Comrie. I thought it was about to be a shorthanded goal. 5:56 to go. You know what? I really don't want to find out what's worse to bump on. Bumping on ice doesn't sound fun. But it can't be harder than wood. But there's no padding on ice. There is a little bit of padding on a ring. So a little bit of canvas as well. Depending on how late you wrestle the canvas, there might be more canvas than not. 11 seconds to the high slot. Shot! Wide. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Okay, there'll be an offensive zone face-off. 5:25. I wonder. Now you're making me wonder. And Blues fans are walking out of the arena. 5:25 to go. Okay, that makes no. And if you do that, you've just given me an episode of Is It a Good Idea to Microwave This? If you do that, you've just given me an episode of Is It a Good Idea to Microwave This? You have. You have. I will wait till another 401 Derby and I will microwave. The day before the 401 Derby, I will put out a video of me microwaving a Montreal jersey before the 401 Derby. Is it a good idea to microwave this? St. Louis Blues. Is it a good idea to microwave this? I'm your host. That's why we have this giant tinfoil shield. It's to protect our nuts because nobody likes roasted nuts. We have fans circulate the air, and as always, the Sharp Carousel Microwave. How long should we put it in there for? I'm going to go ahead and say 2 minutes. Oh, look, a Pissant Company commercial. Nobody asked for that, TK. You mark. Here we go. Blue Jays won 5-3. Good. It's the Cleveland Guardians. Of course, they would win. 5:20 to go. Face off offensive zone. 5:14. Shot. Saved by Bennington. Defensive zone face off. 5:04. 5:04 to go. Five on four. $4.57. Oh! Under 5 minutes to go. 4:48. 2-5. Blues have the lead by 3. Yeah, it looks like we're going to Winnipeg for Game 7, and we're covering a Game 7. When we move to Sunday, I agree. 4:45. Damn. Here's the stats from Connor Hellebuck's last 6 road playoff games. 0-6 record, 29 goals against, 5.72 goals against average, 5.72 goals against average, .835 save percentage. 5 goals allowed on 23 shots tonight. Jesus. 3 games this year. That must have been when he was pulled. That is just gaudy. That is gaudy. Those are some gaudy stats. I can't say anything else. Empty net. Oh, Winnipeg's gone to the empty net. Okay. They think being empty net for 4:28 is going to work out for them. Bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see how it plays out. 4:22. The Blues get a touch to it. It's pretty much, they might get one. Shot wide. Blues get it clear. We're going to see what happens. Shoot it down the ice. And it's going to go wide. Defensive zone face-off, 4:04 to go. Yeah, I'm not disagreeing. I just hope it's not anything in his brain. Like, I hope it's not mental. Because that honestly seems worse. Like, that honestly, and it can't be. And it really can't be. 4 minutes to go. Wait, is it a 6-on-4 now? High stick. Yep. It's 6-on-4 now. Okay. But it can't be mental, because Hellebuck was amazing during the Four Nations face-off. So it's got to be his usage. It has to be. Like, partially. The fact he's used so much. He's relied on so much in the regular season. He just plays so many games that it all crashes into a wall. Maybe it's a little bit mental in the playoffs, but Four Nations was hockey, playoff style hockey. And he played very, very solidly. Robert Thomas called for high sticking, 6-on-4, because the Jets emptied the net. So it's a 6-on-4. This is going to be fun. Shot behind the net. Jets have an empty net. 142. Pionk. 335. Saved by Bennington. Defensive zone face-off. This is where the Jets got to make their hay. This is where they got to make their hay. Score. This is where they got to make their hay. 333. .132. Drops it down. Pionk throws it to the high slot. Here they are. Throws it on. Yeah, they fixed it now. Morrissey had it. Throws it on. 316. 1:10 to go. 3:10. Shot. And it's at the side of the net. Covered by Bennington. 104. And 3:04 left in the... I agree with that. He's been solid. 3:04 left in the game. 1:04 left in the power play. At least a 6-on-4 portion of it. It'll still be a 6-on-5 once the Blues get back to even strength. So it's not really even strength, but as in the power play portion of it where they're down 2, which really sucks. It's not as bad as a 5-on-3. .53 seconds left. Pionk throws to the high slot. 46 seconds of the power play. Shot blocked. We'll still have a 6-on-5 for 2 minutes until, well, the Blues score an empty net goal. Or till the end of the game, either or. 2:29. Plays it forward. Throws it on. Blues lose the handle. They have to reset a little bit. 21. They gain the zone. Shot. Wide. 16 seconds left on the 6. And it's wide. And they're still going to run the clock, so no icing. 7 seconds left on the 6-on-5. Shot. That'll be cleared. Full strength. Covered by Bennington. 1:59 to go. .159. Defensive zone face-off. 5-2. Jets back on the empty net, so it's back to 6-on-5 for 2 minutes, or if the Blues score empty net goal. The Jets did not score a power play goal with 6-on-4, so that definitely ruins their comeback attempt, if there was going to be one. 1:33. So as it stands, we're going back to Winnipeg on Sunday. A 3-3 tied series for the St. Louis Blues. They throw it down the ice. They're going to call icing. 1:18 face-off. Defensive zone face-off with 1:18 to go. The Jets have had a solid third period. You could honestly say the second period is what ended the game, or what lost them the game. Even first, well, hold on. Blues were slightly better in the first period. Jets score somewhat early power play goal in the second. 4 goals against, and then a tap in to make it 5-2. But it's like the one the Blues scored late in game 5. Really. But they were solid period 3. It was a little bit more civilized than the other 2 Scott Trade Center games, to say the least. 50 seconds to go. Throws it down, and the Blues will not score an empty net goal. They're just clearing the puck. Icing. 42 seconds, defensive zone face-off. $27 shots to 23. That was a good one, I guess. The Marvin Gaye song joke, that was a good one, eh? 36.4 to go. Well, was that one of my best hits? I guess that's going on the best of reel at the end of the year. 6-on-5 empty net. Yep. 36.4. I guess that one's going on the best of reel. They really are, though. Yeah, true. I guess the Marvin Gaye joke will be going on my best of reel at the end of the year. I guess so. 18 minutes. Shot! Slap shot. Drops behind the net. On Binnington. Dude. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. And the Blues survive. And they're moving back. They're going back to Winnipeg to play a deciding game 7. 2-5. Three series tied. The Blues are going back to Winnipeg. A 3-3 series tied, and we're going to see a game 7. We got a game 7 tomorrow that in the NHL. Not that I'm covering it. And then a game 7 for the Blues and Jets, which means the Leafs are playing Monday, which it looked like they were going to do that anyway, even if the Blues lost. So, there you go. With that being said, sit tight. Well, there you go. We will be reviewing this game. The review will be out within the hour. The Blues win. Solid second period. Really, other than that, pretty even game. Blues are going back to Winnipeg for a game 7. I was 3 times. Every time in St. Louis, they've done this. It's crazy. With that being said, review will be out within the hour. If you like the stream, like it, share, subscribe. You know what it is. Tell your friends. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell notification once subscribed. Send some chats on the live streams. Comment on this video. Put this in playlist. Share with friends and family. All that great stuff. I will see you within the hour for the review of this match. Tomorrow will be live, 3:30 Central, 3:25 Central for Toronto FC versus the Revs. And then Sunday will be live for the Blues game because I don't think they'd start the Leaf series on Sunday. That would be Monday now. So there you go. With that being said, sit tight. We will be back. We'll review the game, and we'll be moving on. Well, to the next, of course, after that. But not the series. But there you go. I'm Ryan, and I'm out. Peace. See ya.